the Spanish guitar, what I call the true Spanish guitar, the what they call the first natural resonance is low. Now, but it hasn't got to be necessarily F sharp. Now, and if you go to a prototype similar to the Torres, you are approaching that. And with a little bit of work and empirical, you could be approaching to that. But you see the difference between F sharp, well, E or F sharp or G, is 2 or 3 frequencies, right? Now, to me, it's impossible because when you could do it perhaps with the modern technology by scraping something. But what there is, because what that, well, I don't know, I don't think you'll get it, because there is notes on the soundboard. When you scrape it or put some wood, you change them, but then you change the whole overall of the soundboard. So to get the soundboard, say outside of the guitar, to put it on the guitar, once you finish the guitar, it sounds too sharp. To me today, I see it impossible. Now, the best way to do it is following the system that the Spaniards use, approaching it by empirical means, and this is, well, I think the way I work that way with many others, but I mean, there's no way. The violin makers, that's what we've been trying to do, and they tune, the plates, but they never get what they want, because every piece of wood is different, and it's a very lovely polemic that I think one day we could arrive. But it's not only the wood. I mean, it's the tension of the strings, the resonance. In fact, this aspect, it was already polemic in the 17th century. If you know Mersenne, when he talks about the lutes, he said that the makers in the 17th century couldn't understand why, if you make a lute, 2 lutes in the same way, one can be tuned higher than the other, right? I mean, the string, if you tense the string a bit more on one than the other, the one will break the other one, and that is related with this natural resonance of the instrument, and that is what we got to investigate. But I mean, the only way to do it, as far as I know now, is empirically, so that you hone in onto that aspect and work on it, but not by scraping or putting wood like somebody else, because what he has to give it is the overall resonance of the whole guitar, not a particular point on the soundboard, if you know what I mean, a note on the soundboard. They say why the guitar it should be developed to play with quartered up instruments, and why the guitar it hasn't got the I'm talking about the Spanish guitar, no? And I said, well, in a way, it hasn't worked out properly, because I told them that if the guitar is very clean sounding, in fact, I put the example of the triangle in the orchestra. In the orchestra, when, such a tiny thing, you hit it, it really cuts the sound across, I said, well, some instrument could be, in a way, made to produce, to replay on the quartet, but that will, in a way, it wouldn't be the typical sound of what I call the Spanish guitar. But the end, I said that, you see, we haven't grown up enough and serious enough to accept the limitations of the Spanish guitar. And, if you can't, this is limited. And as it's limited, you cannot get any more. If you want sound, you put an amplification or, and that is no other way. So, and this is coming. I mean, you know, these Australian guitars were supposed to be so powerful, they still amplify in concert. And the question I made, I said, why? I mean, why is that? If it's so loud, why they have to be amplified? And it's no way. You've got to accept the Spanish guitar. The best ones we got, the Torres, Hausa, and whatever, that's just practically as far as we can go. What we got to do is to have a consistency, so everybody has a decent, good guitar to play. To me, the Spanish guitar, the best instruments are given as far as they can go. And that is, if you do something else, you create something else, you know. But that's how it is. I mean, but now you mention one, it's a good similarity or a good thing to, you know, the Spanish wine. Well, it's been. I know you know a lot about wine yourself. I know that because Gerhard taught me. But you know, the Spanish wine about 30 years ago, it wasn't really the Rioja and, you know, whatever Rioja, and you had the port and sherry and, well, port is Portuguese. But in the last 30 years, the Spaniards, they apply knowledge to curing their, and the quality of the Spanish wine, as you know, is going up. Because they know the quality of the soil, the quality of the plant, the weather conditions, and this is what we had to do with this. What is already happening, you know. And you get a quality the best that the grapes, and you don't change, I don't think, anything, but you got to control it, how to do it. That to me is a lovely sort of a thing to compare with the instrument. It's limited, we have to accept it. If we produce guitars with the quality, people, they're going to go to the concerts, because this is it. I think I sense that the guitar world is getting fed up with much of the same, you know, the same, the same repertoire, the same way of playing, and it needs something else. And I think I sense a little bit of attention paid more to the old style of the Spanish guitar sound. But I sense that, although there is great forces working in the other way. Mm-hmm.